Greetings, everybody. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Yeah, tonight I'm gonna do a stream. Let me see. Oh, I got a person here. Oh, yeah. Hello.
Hello, Alex. It's me,
Oh,
Paula.
hey, how you doing? Oh, I didn't recognize the name.
Yes, um, that's all information I gathered from my birth chart information. So I added it as it used to be my YouTube channel name. I've changed it a few times. Fulcrum Integrity, Sigma Female. Before that, I was Everything's a PSYOP, a psychological operation that they're pulling on us. But I changed it to this after I looked deeper into my birth chart information. This is my new
Okay.
one that I call myself here. My channel is now called Fun with Words for now.
All right. Cool. Yeah, tonight I was planned to do it earlier, but tonight came perfect because there's more information that came out about 3A Atlas, the third interstellar object to enter our solar system. We recorded that. And yeah, there's few videos I want to show. One is also the second one will be a happening that happened in Nevada. Have you heard a crash in Nevada about five
No,
weeks ago?
no, I did not. I don't think. Or wait, is it the one where it was like a satellite balloon?
No, they say this one was a drone type of drone, but that's a cover up. That the other
Um,
one you're talking about, I think, is 1946. I think the Roswell incident.
no, this
Yeah.
is a newer one. Two women even took a picture of themselves in front of it before they could come confiscate it away. It's a more recent uh, satellite balloon incident. You might want to look into that. My husband told me about it.
All right, I will check it out.
Yeah.
Hey, Pamela, mystics, blessings, infinite
Hey,
love.
Pamela.
So, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, what I know, there's going to be more and more
Things like
UFO
that.
activities in the sky. Yes.
Ah,
So, well, here's a video I want to share. Talks about the anomaly, and then I want to go under the trajectory of the 3A Atlas because it's gonna be around an alignment. There's few alignment that's gonna be taking place. That's very interesting.
yeah,
So,
that's why I'm here. I can't wait to hear everything.
all right,
Hopefully, I
let's
can
go.
add to the conversation.
Yes. That's cool. Yeah, I send the link. I can put the link if anybody wants to join and the conversation. Add to it. Let me see.
And while you play that, I'm going to mute up.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing it. Let me see. The 10 or 9 anomalies so far. Let me see. I have to state. Um. Oh yeah, I have to remove that one. Yeah, I'm still getting used to this. It updated. So okay, now it should work. Yes. Hey, Emily. Blessings. Good to see you too. Yeah, there's an energetic shift happening, especially this month. I'm planning doing a stream and meditation on Wednesday, which is the full moon. Yeah, this month is high energy, very high. People are gonna be easily triggered. Let me put it that way. Um, yeah.
Oh,
All right.
joy! Like we need more of that.
Yes.
People have already been easily triggered since when? Uh,
Well,
2020?
this month is the energy is gonna be very high.
Oh dear
Yes.
God! Stay home.
No, yeah, grounding is key. Just grounding. Grounding. Connect with self. Take time for self. But yeah. All right.
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes.
play the anomalies um, of 3A Atlas, which it doesn't correlate with a comet. So it comes out. It's not a comet, but check it out.
A lot is happening with Atlas right now. While the most mysterious interstellar object in history passes through its most critical phase, perihelion, Extraordinary data is arriving from space observatories in real time. Yesterday, the 29th of October 2025, at 7:47 a.m. Eastern Time, Atlas reached the closest point to our star in its trajectory. And what's happening now is leaving scientists completely perplexed. Astrophysicist Avi Loeb has just published discoveries showing a rapid brightness increase that far exceeds the brightness increase rate of most Oort cloud comets at similar distances from our star. Even more shocking, the object now appears distinctly bluer than our star. Avi Loeb is classifying this as the ninth anomaly of this impossible object, asking a question that could change our understanding of technology in the universe. Does it employ an energy source that is hotter than our star? Real-time perihelion data. Right now, as you watch this video, Atlas is being bombarded by 770 watts per square meter of intense solar radiation. If it were a natural comet, it should be fragmenting under this extreme heat. But there's a problem. At the exact most critical moment of its passage, the object remains completely hidden from our terrestrial telescopes, concealed behind our star, since it passed through solar conjunction on October 21. Fortunately, a fleet of space observatories managed to capture crucial data during this critical phase, and what they're revealing completely defies the known laws of physics. The discovery shocking scientists now. The most recent data, collected by the Stereo A, SOHO, and GOES-19 coronagraphs during September and October, shows something that simply shouldn't exist. Atlas is presenting a brightness increase that is completely anomalous and without explanation in current physics. To help you understand the magnitude of this, normal Oort cloud comets never behave this way. This pattern is completely anomalous, and there's no explanation in current physics. As the scientists themselves admit in the new study, the reason for Atlas's rapid brightness increase remains obscure. Gigantic scale of the current phenomenon. The CCOR1 coronagraph is detecting in real time a brightness extending for an impressive 300,000 kilometers around the object, almost the distance from Earth to the Moon. This extension is comparable to the scale of the carbon dioxide plume detected in August. We're talking about an energetic structure the size of the Earth-Moon system emanating from this object, the ninth anomaly, impossible blue color. But the most revolutionary discovery happening now is this. Atlas appears distinctly bluer than our star in observations from the LASCO and CCOR1 coronagraphs. According to Avi Loeb, this discovery is extremely surprising and defies our understanding of natural objects. In his analysis, he explains that the appearance of Atlas bluer than our star is very surprising. Dust is expected to redden scattered solar light, and the object's surface should be an order of magnitude colder than the 5,800 Kelvin of the solar photosphere, resulting in a color redder than our stars. Avi Loeb points out that previous observations showed Atlas with a reddish coloration, making this dramatic change to blue even more puzzling. The fact that it now appears bluer than our star suggests something fundamental has changed about the object. This is why Avi Loeb concludes that we must add the blue color at perihelion as a ninth anomaly to the list of unexpected properties of this strange interstellar object. This leads Avi Loeb to ask the question that's echoing in laboratories around the world: does it employ an energy source that is hotter than our star? If the answer is yes, we're facing technology that surpasses our star in temperature, something completely beyond our current capabilities. Right now, radio observers around the world are in continuous monitoring of Atlas. According to Avi Loeb, Congresspeople are actively helping to release the high-rise images from October 2 to the scientific community. Scientists are looking for specific signals happening now: deliberate maneuvers, release of mini-probes, radio transmissions, artificial lights, or excess heat from possible engines. 3 sets of state-of-the-art space instruments are documenting this anomalous behavior in real time. Part of the Solar Terrestrial Relations Observatory, launched in 2006. Only Stereo A is operational, using the HI-1 and COR2 cameras from the Secchi suite to capture unique data from the perspective of its orbit slightly faster than Earth. The veteran SOLAR and Heliospheric Observatory, launched in 1995, orbits the point between our star and Earth. Its LASCO coronagraphs are providing continuous data from this privileged position between our star and Earth. Goes 1-9. The newest member of this fleet, launched in 2024, is a meteorological satellite in geostationary orbit. Its CCOR-1 coronagraph is proving crucial for resolving details of the luminous structure around the object. The 9 impossible anomalies detailed. This ninth anomaly adds to an already impossible list of properties that classified Atlas with a score of 4 on the Avi-Loeb scale. Let's detail each of these impossibilities. First anomaly, the impossible path Atlas is traveling a line to just 5 degrees from the plane where all planets orbit our star. Imagine a table where all the balls are rolling on the same level. That's the ecliptic plane. An object coming from another stellar system should arrive from any random direction in space, like a ball thrown from far away that can come from above, below, any side. But Atlas arrived almost perfectly aligned with the table level of the planets. The probability of this happening by chance is only 0.2%, like hitting a tiny target in the dark. Second anomaly, the jet that defies physics. During July and August 2025, Atlas did something never seen in nature. It created a jet of material directed straight toward our star. All known comets do the opposite. They always create tails pointing away from our star, like hair flowing in the wind when you run. It's a basic physical law. Solar radiation pressure pushes material away. Atlas broke this fundamental rule, as if someone were running, but their hair flew forward against the wind. Third anomaly, too big and too fast. Atlas is 1,000,000 times more massive than Oumuamua and 1,000 times larger than Borisov, but still moves faster than similar objects. It's like finding a giant truck overtaking race cars on the highway. Larger objects in interstellar space normally move slower due to gravitational forces that expelled them from their origin systems. Atlas breaks this rule with very low probability. Fourth anomaly, too perfect timing. Atlas arrived with perfect timing to pass close to Mars, Venus, and Jupiter, but remained invisible from Earth during the most important moment, perihelion. It's as if a tourist visited 3 important cities in a country but managed to completely avoid the main airport security cameras. The temporal precision of this sequence is extremely rare, rarer than winning the lottery. Fifth anomaly, factory composition. Spectral analysis revealed that Atlas contains much more nickel than iron, a proportion typical of metal alloys produced industrially on Earth. Natural comets should have a random mixture of metals, like a soup of cosmic ingredients, but Atlas has a specific recipe, as if someone had carefully chosen the ingredients. The probability of this specific composition occurring naturally is very low. Sixth anomaly, dry as a desert. Comets are known as dirty snowballs because they're 80–90% water ice. Atlas has only 4% water. It's drier than many deserts on Earth. It's like finding an iceberg that's almost all rock. This characteristic defies the very definition of what a comet is, suggesting it might not be a natural comet. Seventh anomaly, impossible polarized light. Atlas showed a light polarization pattern never seen in any known natural object. Polarization is like light's fingerprint. Each type of surface creates a unique pattern. It's as if Atlas had a fingerprint that doesn't exist in any nature archive, including all comets ever studied, even Borisov. Eighth anomaly, connection to the 1977 mystery. Atlas arrived from the same direction as the famous WOW signal of 1977, the most mysterious radio signal ever detected, and which many consider the best evidence of extraterrestrial communication. The directional precision is impressive, like 2 events separated by almost 50 years pointing to the same cosmic address. The probability of this coincidence is very low. Ninth anomaly, hotter than our star. Now, Atlas appears bluer than our own star, which according to Avi-Loeb suggests it possesses an internal energy source hotter than our star's 5,800 Kelvin. It's like finding a candle that shines more intensely than a bonfire. This indicates technology capable of generating temperatures superior to our star coming, something completely beyond our current capabilities. missed mapping opportunity. Avi Loeb calculated a fascinating missed opportunity. If Earth were on the opposite side of its orbit, we could be mapping Atlas with radar right now. In that hypothetical position, the object would have passed just 54 million kilometers from Earth, allowing radar systems to detect and image it. We would have direct size measurements and three-dimensional images of its shape during its rotation. Unfortunately, even in December's approach, radar detection will be unfeasible. Astronomical, impossible probability. Multiplying all these individual probabilities, the chance of all these anomalies occurring naturally is less than 1 part in 10 quadrillion. For perspective, it's more likely to win the lottery 15 consecutive times than for this to happen by chance. Right now, Atlas is emerging from behind our star and will begin returning to the field of view of terrestrial telescopes at twilight. On the 19th of December 2025, it will make its closest approach to Earth. At that moment, the Hubble and Webb telescopes will be pointed directly at it, along with terrestrial observatories around the world. Current data suggests it will emerge from perihelion even brighter than before, a prediction that, if confirmed, will add even more mystery. As Avi Loeb emphasizes, we must collect as much data as possible to discover the nature of this anomalous object. The implication of alien technology would be enormous, and therefore, we must take this possibility seriously. If Atlas possesses technology capable of generating energy hotter than our star, its creators master capabilities that go far beyond anything we've ever developed. We're potentially living through the most important moment in the history of astronomy and perhaps humanity itself. With 9 statistically impossible anomalies happening simultaneously, including now this energy source, apparently superior to our star, Atlas may be about to answer the biggest question our species has ever asked. Are we alone in the universe? This isn't just another space object passing through our system. If the evidence is confirmed, we'll be facing the first definitive proof of extraterrestrial technology, a moment that will fundamentally change our understanding of life, intelligence, and our place in the cosmos. The next 50 days, culminating with December's critical observations, represent a unique historical window. Never before have we had the opportunity to study an object with so many technological anomalies using our most advanced instruments. The James Webb Telescope, Hubble, and dozens of terrestrial observatories will be focused on this interstellar visitor. If Atlas performs maneuvers, emits signals, or demonstrates any clearly artificial behavior, we'll be witnessing the most significant moment in human history. On the other hand, if we can explain all these anomalies through still unknown natural processes, this will also revolutionize our understanding of physics and interstellar object formation. What makes this moment even more extraordinary is that we're experiencing this in real time. We're not studying ancient evidence or distant signals. We're observing a potentially technological object crossing our own solar system right before our eyes and instruments. The global scientific community is mobilized like never before. Radio telescopes are listening for possible transmissions, optical telescopes are documenting every brightness change, and even government agencies are facilitating access to classified data to help the investigation. Regardless of the final outcome, December 2025 will be remembered as the month when humanity had its best chance to answer the fundamental question about our cosmic solitude. Stay updated because history isn't just being written, it's being broadcast live, and you're watching the first chapters of what could be the greatest discovery in human history.
Wow. Did you see what Pamela said? She said, convenient, the U.S. government shutdown is taking place during this.
Oh yeah, I was on mute. Yes, no, Pamela is right.
Yeah.
Hey, Rainbow Warrior, blessings, good to see you. This oncoming month, starting this month, because this month is 11 universal month, so high energy, and then December is going to be a 3, and January back to an 11.
Oh,
So yeah, these oncoming 3 months is going to be very high energy. And
wow.
yeah, yeah. So what I saw what you said. Yeah, I have a presentation also about the blue Kachina, which is a short presentation about our DNA, the activation, and few prophecies, including the one of blue Kachina, that all correlate with each other. So
Nice.
could be that this is the sign, the blue sign of the blue Kachina, the sign of the coming of the purification that's coming.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring on the purification. My goodness. Uh, there's something else I saw here. Rainbow says that if Sagittarius, where 31 Atlas entered from the beginning of the sky clock, maybe it is part of the energetic reset, which now, if anybody watches my channel, I've made several videos on the butterfly cluster, the splendors of the heavens, and the arrow of Sagittarius points to it. It is also where the center of our universe is and is where the wow signal came from all those years ago.
Oh yeah, the WoW single where the three-eye atlas came from, I think is 9 degrees with the number nine, and we're in a 9 year. 9 degrees off when the WoW single came from. And it's also it was in 1977, which was a snake year, and this year we're also in a snake year, almost 50 years later.
Yeah,
Uh, Also, the five representing change and transformation correlates with the nine and the snake, all refer to transformation. So I heard that they're pushing that within 2 years we're going to be having mainstream contact because they pushed in the past, but it was stopped. And I can see a lot of people are not ready because a lot of people think we're alone on this planet
yeah,
or in this universe.
yeah,
So there's a lot of people when they found out they're gonna be freaking out. But it's
yeah,
coming. It's coming. So there's a disclosure happening with the Congress. They're talking about the UAP, UFO sightings, what they have recorded. So that what I understand is the how the disclosure is gonna come, steady and slow. You know.
yeah. And you mentioned, oh gosh, well, now I can't remember the word. Oh shoot, restoration or transformation. Transformation is the word you used. And the butterfly cluster, well, if you just look at how a butterfly comes to be, first it's a caterpillar, then it goes into its chrysalis, and then when it comes out, it's a butterfly. And so I see the butterfly cluster, which is also called the splendors of the heavens, likely to be the way out of this whole earth experience and go back home for to go where we deserve to be. Like right now, I don't think I deserve to be here with a bunch of crazy people. So I'm gonna, when I die, I'm not going into the light. I'm heading for the butterfly cluster. I'm gonna check it out for my own damn self. But I'm pretty
Well,
sure it's the way out.
well, that's the thing, no? You asked to be here. You asked for your name, your parents, you all. That's what you agree with, you know. And this, we're in the middle of a big change happening right now. I tell you, within 5 years, this world is not going to be the same. A lot of things are going to be coming to the light. There's a big transformation happening. Um, yeah. So yeah, by
I,
2007, 2028, I can tell you there, it's already happening, but there's the big shift gonna happen. There's already shift happening, but then there's like we're gonna kick in the high gear.
I've been waiting my entire life for this world to become a better place to exist in. So if that's what's going to happen, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's all in divine timing, you know. Okay,
Yeah.
here, let me see. Okay, this is today. Yeah, still today. This is where the three eye atlas is. Let me see. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool that you have a program that shows that.
yeah. I went on a site. It's the Sky Live site. There you can track it.
Huh.
You can share it. And it was a few days ago. Let me see right here. Yeah, it was in a perihelion. Let me see if it comes good at the screen or I make it bigger. Let me see, and I make it bigger. Let me
I
see.
can see it pretty good.
Yeah, like that.
Makes it a little bigger. Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, yeah. So here, right here, was at the closest point to the sun, which is the perihelion. They
Uh-huh.
call it perihelion. And before, right before that, it was getting blasted by the coronal mass ejection.
Yeah.
So it was like triggering the sun. Okay. What I understand, we keep going all November. I put it like this. See the planets and pull a bit out. Okay. All right. Let's see. December. Here on the 19th
Of
of
course.
December, right before the equinox.
Uh-huh.
Let me see. It's going to be the closest to Earth. Oh,
Yes.
so on this day, let me see. Oh, got stuck now. Oh, yeah. So let me
Oh,
see. Oh, yeah. Put it outside. Still learning how this thing works. Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like it
Here.
might be going a little crazy on its own there.
Well, okay, here on the 19th of December, here we're going to be able to see it, I think, with our telescope. On the
I have
19th of
one. Yeah.
So on the 19th, we're going to be able to see it. Then it's going to be the closest to Earth. Well,
Nice.
then we're going to be seeing it. Now, is that going to be triggering something? Why I say
I'm
that?
sure of it.
Because Jupiter is right there. It's going to go very close to Jupiter, but that's going to be on the other equinox in March. So there's a lot of this thing is very intelligent. Seems like it. Um, Let me continue. If I continue with it, January on the 9th, you see here. What do you see? Pull it back out.
I gotta turn the water on. Okay.
On the 9th,
Oh, the alignment. Yeah.
on the 9th, we have an alignment
Yes.
on most of the planets. So is that is going to be triggering something on that day, the 9th of January? And
Nice.
because I know on the 6th is and the Catholic is the Three Kings Day. They
Yeah, the
celebrate,
12th day of Christmas. Yep. Yep.
and on the 9th, you have the alignment.
Wow.
So that day is a very interesting day. The 19th of December, which is the closest, and on the 19th, on the 9th of January. Could that be
Ah,
the trigger point? We'll see. And then if you continue, um, I play it. We continue around March. Let me see. Yeah, around March. I think around here. All right. Damn it. All right.
there we go.
Zoom in. Oh, that's not way I can go. All right, that's Mars, but Mars is way out. Okay, yeah. So on the 20th of March, you can say it's the closest to Jupiter.
Yeah.
So if that is that gonna activate something with the Jupiter. Let me see. I had it. Let me see here. History. I know. Well, I know Jupiter represent in Vedic. It represents like prosperity. Let me see what else. Prosperity is one of it. So it comes down to, could that day be a crash of the stock market and then something new coming out?
Oh,
It,
they
that
are
would be
trying to
the,
bring in their cryptocurrency. Yeah.
well, that's I heard that the Bitcoin actually is going to be crashing next year.
It always
It's, it,
crashes. Bitcoin is crap, but yeah.
hmm. So no, that I wanted to share about that with the alignment and yeah, and when it's close to which on the 20, the other equinox, which is close to Jupiter. So I can see some triggering energy happening.
Oh yeah,
So
and Jupiter's about expansion.
yes, also expansion, growth.
Yes, expansion, growth. Yes.
So that is going to be very interesting. Let me see.
Yeah,
Um,
very intriguing.
yeah, so the energy is going to be high for the 19th till 19th December to 9 January. So, and I saw on, let me stop this sharing. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. No, I saw there was one person, I don't think I need to show it, but there was one person talking that is a remote viewer and said that they had contact with the ship, which is the 3A Atlas, and they're saying it's a draconian ship. And apparently, I don't know, he said they're gonna land or something, but it's coming here for the star seeds. And there's another one saying that also they're gonna come for the star seeds, which they're pushing fear, no fear. The trusted sources I have is they all said is benevolent, so I trust them. And yeah, I don't think due to the Galactic Federation and Earth Alliance, I wouldn't think that they would allow that to happen. There's um, a lot of battles happening on the ground behind the scenes against the Draco reptilians. They're trying to scare that they're coming here, but they're already here. That's the other thing, they're already here. But
Yeah.
not all Draco reptilians are bad. You know, you have good ones too, what I understand.
Yes. I agree with you on that. Yes, there are good ones and bad ones. And I have a theory if you want to hear it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go
And
ahead.
my theory came from my research because I also investigate bloodlines. And I think that the AB, I believe it's AB negatives, are the draconians that are here. They just don't know it. Some of them don't know it yet. I'm best friends with one. I don't know if you remember Rachel, but she's an
No.
AB negative. And I told her she very likely could be an evolved reptilian draconian. And she thought that was cool. But I have yet to be, proven right or wrong on that yet. But the time will come. All will be known.
Oh, yes. I think 10 years, I think we're going to be having like intergalactic travel. And it's going to go that far.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking for, let me see, the second one. Mm, oh, yeah, I had the Hopi. Afterwards, I'm going to show the presentation. It's a very good presentation of the blue Kachina and the DNA activation. Let me see here. I have like more than 100 tabs open, so it's a bit difficult
Oh,
to.
geez, you're worse than me.
Yes, let me see. I think I found. Yeah, I have a lot of tabs open.
My husband's always yelling at me, "You have too many tabs open. Shut up.
Well,
I need all of them. It's research."
yeah, yeah, it's research.
Oh,
Okay, I see Rainbow Warrior. I'm going through the Lionsgate portal. Just came in to join my brother and sister to the lighthouse to help with ascension on this planet. Oh, you're doing awesome, Rainbow Warrior. I know you're a life path 33, so yeah, you're doing your mission. You're on the right path. You see, Deborah Har, 2020 was an IQ test. Now we're entering the Project Phoenix structure built on the lie. Hmm. Yeah, I could say 2020 was an IQ test.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes. There you see people with degrees just fell in the trap, you know.
Yes.
So yeah. So yeah, the degree doesn't say that you're intelligent. But let me see. Oh yeah, here's a bit of with the 3A Atlas and something that happened in Nevada, 23 of September. There was a local news station there that reported on it. Otherwise, I think a lot of people wouldn't know. So yeah, I'm gonna play this one.
Well, today is the day, folks. Perihelion for 3I Atlas, as it's called. It's the weird interstellar object that's heading our way. Perihelion is at its closest point to the sun. That's what that means. Now, to be clear, this object will be behind the sun, to my understanding. But why is NASA refusing to allow us to see these high-definition images? Why is NASA being so cagey about this thing? It's very bizarre. What is it? Is it just a comet or is it some interstellar spacecraft? We don't know. Who knows? Why is NASA hiding all of this? Well, I know there's a government shutdown, et cetera, et cetera. You can't release. You did manage to release low res images, if I'm not mistaken, but you couldn't release the high res images that we know you have access to because of the spacecraft and other observation spacecraft on Mars that passed right by Mars. Can you talk about this?
And we were expecting for a very close-up, high-resolution image. The US, in that case, have much higher resolution cameras aboard their spacecraft than there's Chinese and EU satellites around Mars as well, but they were much lower resolution, and they were the only ones that were released. And to this day, NASA, through JPL, have not released the high-resolution pictures. Non-government organizations, universities, and people should be able to be free from this, and we should be able to get the actual images. I'm shocked because that was a fantastic opportunity to get very close to this thing and actually, find out what it's made of. But you're absolutely right. There's lots of satellites out there actually orbiting the sun who are actually seeing it. Let's not forget that there's other countries with telescopes as well as the US. Here in the US, here in the EU, we have many satellites who are actually following it in telescopes. We can't underestimate how brilliant it is that it's come into our solar system, and also how different it is. And it's this difference of its composition, of its actual elements that make it up, that's not like us. It's not like anything we have in our solar system. It's not made by our star. It's come from somewhere else because it's not from around here. So, for example, a normal comet, which is coming from our solar system, made of all the stuff that you and me and everything is made of, we know how they behave. They're mainly made up of water. So when they get near the sun, they evaporate, and there's a big tail coming out the back. Now, this crazy guy is probably made of different elements. And for example, it's had a tail coming out the front. And most of the gas coming out the back is probably a cyanide gas coming out of its metal structure. So when I say it's behaving badly, it's actually just behaving weirdly.
The USO investigators telling you for several weeks now about a mysterious object of unknown origin that fell from the sky and crashed just near Area 51. And tonight, the public is still in the dark.
So that crash was quickly covered up, both literally and figuratively. 8 News Now Chief Investigator George Knapp thinks the official story, as told by the military, is false.
And we are lucky because George joins us here in the studio with more on what he's now dug up. George.
Well, how quickly might the government respond to a crash of an unknown object? What happened back on September 23rd on public land outside the boundary of Area 51 is a textbook example of how crash retrievals work. And to no one's surprise, pretty much everything told to the public since then is pure fiction.
You can see this in F-18.
Scanners and computers inside this room listen to and record radio traffic inside Area 51 round the clock. On the morning of September 23rd, York Arnu heard some astonishing news.
Had my cup of coffee, and I'm listening to Area 51 security, and all of a sudden, they get very serious. Locked down the base.
Arnu learned there'd been a large but totally secret air operation in the middle of the night, and that something had gone wrong.
So we just had an asset go down. We had an asset go down. This is not Creech security, this is Area 51 security. And they had an asset go down. And then the next thing.
Yeah, clear. Also, short behind is a UAV, unmanned aircraft with ordnance.
He picked up details about strict security measures which were implemented almost immediately. Not only was Area 51 itself locked down, but within a very short time, so too was a large swath of the Tikaboo Valley. It became clear that some kind of craft had crashed miles outside of Area 51's boundaries on public land adjacent to Highway 375, also known as the ET Highway. Arnu jumped in his truck and headed south from his home in Rachel. But while driving on what's known as Mailbox Road, he ran into an armed patrol.
They had the gun in front of them, not pointed at me, but very visibly in front of them. And it was clear they meant business.
He backtracked and headed south on the ET Highway to Groom Lake Road, the main entrance to the base. It too was blocked off by sheriff's deputies and military security. A military helicopter with an attached basket was sitting there, presumably ready to haul out wreckage of something. A pair of porta potties suggested the team planned to be there for a while.
Almost the entire Tikaboo Valley was shut down.
At the Little Ailey Inn in Rachel, employees were in the dark about a crash, but saw the beefed up security at closed off roads and knew something big was unfolding. Crashes are not an everyday occurrence out here, but locals have seen plenty of them over the decades.
If this thing would have crashed anywhere in restricted airspace, in restricted area, we would have never known about it.
After being turned away from the presumed crash site, Arnu and the aerospace sleuths on his website, dreamlandresort.com, began gathering and sharing bits and pieces of information. The FAA had ordered the closure of airspace over a particular spot in the valley. That was a big clue. Then 4 days after the crash, the security teams vanished. Arnu went back out for a look. The Air Force had used heavy equipment to plow a dirt road across a section of desert. Arnu followed it and found what he thought was the crash site, then shared it online. That's when things got strange, even by Area 51 standards. A second wave of cleanup crews descended on the site, presumably to pick up any remaining debris, but they also used graders to cover the entire area with a thick layer of dirt, literally a cover-up. Creech Air Force Base, which is home to a fleet of Reaper drones and other UAVs, issued a statement explaining that the, quote, unmanned aircraft was one of theirs. The same statement claimed someone had been tampering with the crash site and had scattered assorted pieces from other aircraft, along with an inert training bomb. The Air Force said the FBI was investigating this alleged tampering at the site. Arnu was amused but not convinced.
The only thing they could get that person for is littering on public land.
That's the story. As it came from Creech and now the FBI is investigating, you think that's bogus?
That's absolutely bogus. I think that was designed to make people not go there.
Arnu drove back out and realized the site he first videotaped was a staging area, not the crash site. 200 yards away, the telltale burn marks on Joshua trees indicated this was where the object slammed into the earth. Both he and another aerospace explorer found pieces of who knows what, debris that came from something other than a drone, seemingly planted to confuse anyone who came looking. But they also found pieces under the dirt that are likely the real thing.
I'm pretty sure that this piece came off the actual aircraft.
Arnu, who was at the site of a genuine Reaper crash years earlier, says there's no way the Air Force could ever recover every piece of a crashed aircraft. So they added some dirt and sprinkled in some misdirection instead.
If I were them, I would probably do just that.
Is there a good guess about what crashed? On the Dreamland Resort website, members, including former military and retired defense contractors, chimed in. The leading theory is that the drone was one of a latest generation of AI-controlled craft that accompany advanced fighter planes and can act independently to get the job done.
The next generation air dominance project is the big thing at Area 51. So the pilot flies along and says, hey, there's a target on the ground, drone 1, go check it out, and if it's a bad guy, take care of it. And drone 1 goes and does the rest.
If the military wants to keep a secret about strange things that fall out of the sky, they have many tools at their disposal. Lock down the base, seal off the public land, put out a cover story, sprinkle some disinformation over the whole thing. Arnu says the middle of night operation that ended with the crash is one of the biggest he's ever heard of, nicknamed Black Flag. He has a good idea which hangar at the Area 51 base houses the unknown drones, but is not willing to say more. It is, after all, almost 3 years to the day since FBI agents kicked in the door of his home and carted away his computers and cameras. No charges have ever been filed. Back to you.
And George, what I really like to say is there's so much more behind a press release, right? That press release that came in, the first one that we talked about here, said it was an incident, didn't even say it was a crash, didn't even say what it was. So there, really shows you how investigative reporting can go a long way.
I don't know why they're always trying to cover shit up. Like, they're eventually, like you said, they're going to have to tell the truth because it's going to be obvious.
Well, it's coming because if that information come out, then the technology also is going to come out, and then everything runs on oil. So when that technology come out, because it's going to come out, then oil is going to be obsolete. That's why they're holding it, because a lot of things would fall. Everything would change dramatically. Yeah.
Yep.
But it's coming out. I saw.
I'm glad.
No, I saw Trump put how we say a video of the Mad Bats, but then he pulled it down. I think it was just teasing, letting the people know he is aware of it. And I think it's going to be coming maybe next year or for sure 2027. But the quantum Mad Bats also is going to be coming out because there were a lot of setbacks. A few years ago, there was a ship going to distribute it, and the ship was taken down. I don't know where, but that's what I heard. But I also heard in US they already started building hospitals specifically for the Mad Bats. So that is coming. It's in the process.
Interesting. But I do believe that Trump did that because Trump is a smartass. Yes.
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 Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Now I have a good presentation which a lot of people need to check. And this talk about the DNA and the blue Kachina, which is very interesting. Okay, let me see. Can share this.
Wonder if Rachel will be activated when this happens. This could be the event I've been waiting for.
It's a possibility. There's some people that has, it's a bit hard to do prediction, right? So there's some people that has predicted like they have given like end of October, 30th of October, I think, when the comet was right behind the sun with the perihelion. But nothing happened. So I would think if it has to happen. Yeah, it could also be this month. I don't know, but it would be with alignment between 19 December and 9 January.
Yeah.
But we'll
Which makes
see.
sense because that's when the sun is in the Milky Way, right there with the butterfly cluster at the solstice, right?
Yeah, the next one is the solstice. Yeah, it's also is well, yeah, that one is going to be close to Jupiter, you know.
Yeah. Expansion. Yes.
Yeah. Let me check. All right. Uh, Jupiter meaning in Vedic. I had it, but I closed it accidentally. Okay. In Jupiter in Vedic astrology is called the Guru or
Yes.
Brihamaspi, representing knowledge, wisdom, growth, and good fortune. It's considered the most auspicious planet, guiding the gods and symbolizing spirituality, prosperity, moral values, and expansion in life. So yeah, I think moral. That's also what we needed. So I can see like a changing of the energy shift happening around that time too.
Yes. Exciting times.
Yeah, things are going to be changing for sure.
For
It's
the
already
better.
started.
Yes.
Yeah, already started. So it's just going to continue. And you see, so it's made. Oh yeah, it's made out of type of nickel. What I understand.
Yeah, nickel.
My friend, I hope is Jesus coming. Well, I think. Well, Jesus. I think the Christ consciousness is coming. Maybe Jesus will come with it, but the Christ consciousness, we're going to be doing the same as He done and more. Awaken our own power from the inside. You know, that's why the video I'm going to be showing now is very important. It's a very, very good presentation. I showed it exactly 3 years ago, and on the stream. And so this is for the perfect timing right now, this presentation. It's called The Mechanics of Ascension. It has begun. That's the title of this
Oh,
presentation.
wow. Are you going to share that link also so we can watch it later and whatnot? We can get to it.
Yes.
Okay,
I can
good.
share.
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Let me see. Yeah, Barry is smiling. Let's see. Hope the energy levels at the moment are good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think if something big she has is 2027 because that's in 11 year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 7 is 11, representing enlightenment and illumination. Also, this month is also with the 11 also represent illumination, so things that you haven't seen before is going to come to the light. You're going to see or get a different perspective of it. That also is possibility this month. Things are going to get illuminated in your personal life. And yeah, also people are highly emotional, highly sensitive this month. Yeah, this month going January next year also in 11. So we're going to go from now, we're in the 11 universal month, then December is 3, which is all about communication. Communication, also expansion, socialize, networking, um, expressing yourself. So I can see people in December coming out, speaking more truth of things that's happening behind the scenes. I can see that happening in December with the 3 energy between the 2 11s. So yeah, I expect this oncoming month, these 3 months is going to be very exciting. So grounding is key.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me see, Rainbow Warrior. It could be the thing that blast with the Christ consciousness energy, which is like the second coming of Christ. Yes, I agree. disclosure, and even the return of Christ consciousness is inside job. Yes. No mainstream media, government yet, or external display. Yes,
Yeah.
that is true, Pamela. Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be external. That's why when could be that the light that they're talking about, yeah, we're going to be seeing in this presentation. I'm going to play this. This is a very good presentation.
I'm
And
excited
this
to
is
see it.
yeah, I'm going to play this one. Yes. All right. Let me see. All right.
First presenter today is Danny Searle. Danny Searle presented previously at Paradox Summit. This is his second presentation, and basically today he'll be talking about the mechanics of ascension and taking us through some of the information we need to know around that. And Danny is a counsellor, author, and presenter. He's worked in this field for over 25 years. He's presented in 6 countries. He's appeared on Australian Story, Today, Tonight, and A Current Affair. He's featured both in print media and has conducted radio interviews in Asia, USA, and Europe. Danny is a psych practitioner combining psychology and kinesiology. He's also published 3 books, which are available here today and also on Amazon. His YouTube channel is Path to Ascension and has over 5 million views. So please make welcome Danny Searle.
Okay, Mechanics of Ascension. G'day guys, thank you for coming today. So basically, some of you may have seen one of my books is called The Ascension Guide. And that has got to do what I wrote for individual ascension. If you wanted to go off tomorrow and learn how to ascend, that's the book. But then I got asked the question, well, what about everyone else? What does everyone else do? Not everyone's going to do that. That's what I'm talking about today. So it's what I call the mechanics of ascension, because it covers the actual mechanisms that go along with it. So the first thing we've got to talk about is DNA. Deриbonucleic acid. Big word. Everyone sort of knows what DNA is, right? Okay, getting there. So it's made up of codes. A, G, C, and T. You don't need to remember all this. I'm just going to quickly go through it. So it's made up in bases, and each pair is joined with A and T and C and G. And then they have a base sugar, phosphate, and a nucleotide. And that's sort of what DNA looks like. Everyone's used to seeing the double helix. It's the structure. It looks a little bit like a ladder. This will all become important later, okay? So junk DNA. Scientists talk about junk DNA. What is junk DNA? They say that 97% of your DNA is junk DNA. That's because they can't figure out what it does. And they've been testing this stuff since the 80s. They still don't know what it is, so they call it junk DNA. So as I said, they don't know what it does. Now we move on to amino acids. So amino acids form proteins. And there's 64 possible codes of proteins on your DNA right now. But here's the weird thing. Only 20 of them are active. Only 20 of them are turned on, which doesn't make sense, but it will in a minute. So 44 codes are not active. And nature doesn't waste anything, right? It uses everything. So there's a reason why those codes aren't turned on right now. So jumping now, so we all understand DNA. Now the link between emotions and DNA. Is there a link? Yes, there is. So emotions are a realm that we can't see. We can't physically see them, but we know they're real, don't we? Because you all experience them. So we know that emotions are real, but they're coming from a different part of us. And so what people think is emotion, like screaming or yelling, getting angry, that's just the physical manifestation of it. The actual emotion itself is a vibration or an energy. Do you understand that? It's not a physical thing. The physical thing you're seeing is that. That's the final manifestation of an emotion, which tells us that emotions are coming from somewhere else. And they have a vibratory frequency to them. So Hans Jenny, this guy in the 60s, decided to do some experiments to figure all this out. And he put medium, like sand, milk, all sorts of things onto tin, and then he put sound waves through it to make it vibrate. And he found that the more he made it vibrate, the higher the frequency, the more intense patterns it created. And the lower the frequency, the less intense patterns, okay? So he drew this correlation between frequency and vibration. So the same thing happens with your emotions. If you have high emotions, it creates a high vibration. If you have low negative emotions, it creates a low negative vibration. So there's basically only two sets of emotions in humans: love and fear. Everything else derives from those two things. Just keep that in mind. So now we're going to look at the link between your emotions and your DNA. And yes, there is one. So when I'm talking about fear-based emotions, I'm talking about these sort of things here. Anger, hate, jealousy, greed, vanity, self-loathing, addictions, manipulation, control, judgment. There's a ton more, but they're just the basic ones, okay? So they're fear-based emotions. So if I say to you, you're living in a fear-based mentality, you're doing one of those things. And same goes, and fear has a long wave. So everyone understands sound waves, how sound waves go through the air. Vibration works exactly the same. So with hate, anger, fear, it's a long, slow wave like that, okay? Then we've got the love-based ones. So they're compassion, happiness, self-love, kindness, supportive, unconditional love, balance, calm, non-judgmental. Like I said, there's a lot more. They're just the basic ones. So if I say to you, you're in a love vibration or you need to live in a love vibration, this is what I'm talking about in your daily life, trying to maintain these sort of thoughts and behaviours. So love has a very high frequency like that. It goes up and down really quickly. So now we've got a thing called the DNA effect. And the DNA effect is an experiment that was done by the Russians way back, late 80s, maybe early 90s. And what they did is they got some photons. Photons are just packets of light. Light travels in photons, okay? And just packets of light. And they put them into a vacuum tube. And as expected, when they tested where the photons were in the vacuum tube, they were just all over the place, right? Like a dog's breakfast, they were everywhere. So then they put into the vacuum tube a little piece of DNA, a sample of DNA. They retested it again, and lo and behold, all of the photons lined up exactly with the DNA, exactly. And then they took the DNA out, and the photons remained in the shape of the DNA in exactly the same direction. And this is what's known as the phantom DNA effect. So they basically bridge an important gap between the physical and the spiritual, okay? That's what it's telling us. The physical being the DNA, the light being the spiritual, etheric. That's what it is, right? Can anyone hold light? No. You can't touch it or feel it, but you can see it, right? Etheric. It also tells us that DNA works as an antenna for light. Because remember, when they put the DNA in, the light lined up with the DNA, didn't it? The DNA became an antenna, if you like. So now we're going to jump to the Blue Star Prophecy. A lot of you have probably heard of the Hopi Indian of Arizona, in most of Arizona, in the USA. So we've got the Hopi Indian. Hopi are very spiritual people. They were around a lot longer, or a lot earlier than the other Indian nations in America. They got direct knowledge, if you like, from star people. So that's part of their prophecy, is when the blue star Kachina makes its appearance in the heavens, the fifth world will emerge.
There will come a time when a blue star will appear in the sky. Its light will shatter the darkness of the night. This blue star will bring a wind like that which has not been seen on Earth in a long time. The blue star will bring a fire. This fire will be so bright and hot that it will transform the matter of the universe. The blue light from this star is a signal that shall end the fourth world. The blue star will cause the oceans to rise and topple upon the land, flooding the world. All living things will perish in this great catastrophe.
Okay, so these extracts I've taken from Paul Laviolette, his DVD Earth Under Fire, if you're interested in seeing the whole thing. Paul basically discovered a message in the zodiac where he found that Scorpio and Sagittarius are the only ones in the zodiac that have arrows or pointing something, okay? So they appear to be pointing out the centre of the galaxy. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? So 14,000 years ago, they actually lined up exactly where the centre of the galaxy is. So Sagittarius now misses the centre by 2.5 degrees, but it was on target 14,000 years ago. And Harrow Sharpley was the guy in 1917 that first discovered where the centre of the galaxy is, but he was off by 3.3 degrees. So what's amazing with that is the ancients were 8 times better than they were in 1917, right? Probably going to get off track here and confuse people. Anyone heard of the Anunnaki? They're the ones that created the zodiac, okay? Long story, can't talk about it now, but that's why, 14,000 years ago, because that's when they did it. That's why it lined up then. So he suggests that the ancients were warning us about a coming catastrophe, specifically an explosion in the centre of our galaxy. So the galaxy is about 23,000 light years. That's where we are at the moment. We're 23,000 light years from the centre of the galaxy. And we're on one of the fringe, the spiral arms of the fringe. And you see that at night. It's basically the Milky Way. You've all seen the Milky Way. So that's what it looks like, the rear view, side view, and the top view. So we see that real view, the Milky Way, okay? But that's the spiral arm that we're on. So the only time the centre of the galaxy comes visible to us is when there's an outburst, what they call a galactic outburst, or an explosion. And spiral galaxies like we live, they come in 2 varieties. Seyfert and quiescent are the 2 terms that they use. It just means one's exploded and one hasn't. That's all it means. And they're normally in their quiescence phase for probably 80% of the time. But 1 in 6 are Seyfert, meaning they're exploded. So NASA knows about this. They study them, right? They got pictures of them. You can get them on the internet. So yeah, most of the time we're in quiescent phase. So, and it can last for hundreds or thousands of years, but they're always happening all over the place.
For the holy people of North America, I have a legend. There were 3 other worlds before this, the present world. Each of these worlds was terminated by a great catastrophe. The Hopi believe that this ending will be heralded by the appearance of Sakwasapa, the blue star spirit. Sakwasapa will shine brighter than all of the stars in the heavens. These legends promise that one day the present world will also come to an end. And although the blue star spirit brings forth the end of this world, she also plants the seeds for the next one.
So that blue star, you all saw what the blue star looked like. Do you think that looks a little bit possibly like the galactic centre blowing up? Possibly? I think it does. So that's the bluish white light. But the Hopi didn't know that, of course, because they've got no frame of reference. So basically what I'm saying is that what the Hopi were predicting or seeing was a galactic outburst. And it wasn't just the Hopi either. We've got all these different cultures around the world that have very similar things. You can look up yourself. I won't go into them now. But all these texts talk about very similar occurrences where there's a bright light or a flame in the sky, right, that brings about a new world. Now, here's the key to all this. When a galaxy blows up, the first wave that comes out from it has got synchrotron radiation in it. It's a special type of radiation. Again, NASA knows all about this. And it's accelerated by a magnetic field emitted by the supergalactic wave, okay? That's what pushes it out in front of it, and then the blast waves behind it. But this is what comes first. The thing with synchrotron radiation, it can penetrate every single level of the visible light spectrum, okay? So everything from radio waves to infrared, visible light, ultralight. So as you can see in that picture there, visible light's just that little bit in the middle. Synchrotron radiation is the only radiation that can go over the whole spectrum, right? It's really powerful stuff. And it's just interesting that it can penetrate everything.
There will be no warning when the fourth world, will be shattered by the great fire. The myths say that the fourth world will be destroyed, in order for the next world, the fifth world, to begin. These are the prophecies that have been handed down from generation to generation among the Hopi. They are considered the most important prophecies of these people. The Hopi prophecies say that with the coming of Sakwaswali, the fourth world will come to an end.
So at least one superwave has already left the galaxy. But we don't know exactly when it's coming, okay? Because as I said, it's 23,000 light years away. I don't know how fast it travels. Does it travel faster than light, at the speed of light? I don't know. We know it's left, but we don't know when it's going to get here. But we do know that the Earth has been wiped out several times in the past by these supergalactic waves. And we've got archaeological evidence for that. I won't go through all these, but just to give you an idea, this is how many times in the past that science knows the Earth has lost 86%, 75%, 96%, 80% of all life wiped out. They don't know why, but this is why. But here's the interesting thing. You notice it wasn't 100% of life was wiped out. It was close to 100%, but not all of it. That's because what life remained evolved into new species, right? Then we had the Cambrian explosion. That's what paleontologists call it, because during this period, to give you an idea, you know, where they're digging their holes in the dirt, they find nothing, nothing, nothing. Then they get to this level, they found 13 species in a cubic metre. 13 species, all in one little box, right? That's why they call it the Cambrian explosion, because they went from no life to suddenly life coming out of the woodwork. They don't know how to explain that. But again, this synchrotron radiation explains it, because new codes were generated. Remember those codons I was talking about before, where we've got 44 that aren't turned on? Some of them got turned on, so they morphed these creatures into new creatures. Because Darwin's theory of evolution only covers very small parts of evolution, where a bird got a bigger beak or it grew a longer feather. It doesn't explain how we get dogs, cats, deers and pigs, right? It doesn't explain that at all. Trust me, I've studied this. This does explain it, because to get a dog and a cat and a pig, you have to turn on new codes. You have to write new code for it, right? It doesn't just evolve out of nothing. And that's the point I'm trying to make. So now we get on to 12-strand DNA. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of 12-strand DNA, but probably don't know exactly where it comes from. So this is Bruce Lipton. I'm a big fan of Bruce. I thought I'll get him to explain how cells work, because he'll do a better job than I can, okay?
So when I look at the surface of the cell, actually instead of being smooth, there are all these structures like antennas sticking up all over the surface and proteins built into the membrane. And that these proteins read the environment and convert that environmental signal into a behavior. Let me explain how it works. Here's the membrane. Here are two different proteins. I'm going to tell you right now, there are thousands and thousands of proteins in the cell membrane, but I can divide them into two groups. One group has antennas on it. And antennas are receivers, just like your television antenna for on top of your house before cable. When you had an antenna on the top, what was its function? To pick up a signal. And then what happened to that signal? It was transmitted down the wire to the television, and the television converted the signal into something you could see. Well, here's the point. Many of the receptors in the cell have these antennas sticking up from the cell. So if I go back, these are the antennas sticking up on the surface of the cell right here. And what they're tuned to are not television stations, they're tuned to environmental information. It might be glucose, for example. Is there sugar out there? Or histamine. Is there histamine out there which tells me to get ready for an emergency response? Or is there something like insulin which tells me to change my metabolic pathway? For every different thing the cell can see, it has a different antenna. So that means the cells are covered over the surface with antennas for everything the cell can deal with. So the signals come in and are picked up by the antenna, but then they're converted into the behavior by the second class of proteins. There are three different kinds. Channels, which are just like olives with a hole in the middle where information can go in. Enzymes, which are proteins that cause metabolism to occur. Or cytoskeletal proteins, proteins that change the shape of the cell. So if a signal comes in, let's say a toxic signal comes in, and this is a receiver for that, and it couples to the skeleton that says, it's toxic signal, turn around and start running the other way, then this is the input and this is the output. So the proteins work in combination. Receptors receive signals. Do you have receptors? Yeah. What are the obvious ones? Eyes, ears, nose, taste, touch. Where are all your receptors located? In the skin. So you and the cell are parallel, but it doesn't look like an eye, it doesn't look like a nose, but its function is exactly the same. It's the equivalent of an eye. If this was tuned to light, a photon of light would hit this antenna, and that cell would respond like an eye and say, I see the light. And once it sees the light, it has to convert that information, and it uses it by connecting to this, and I'm going to show you how that happens. So the input, the antenna, connects to the output, which makes the behavior. Let me explain.
Okay, so did everyone understand what he was saying then? On the cell, there's receptors. He even said there could be a receptor for light. Do you remember back to the DNA phantom effect? What did the DNA do with the photons of light? It lined up the light, didn't it? So, synchrotron radiation. So as I said before, it's created animal mutations, and 90% of all life has been wiped out, right? So it's either mutated or developed into a new species. Now we get back to emotions, how they directly affect the structure of your DNA. Because of the 64 possible codons, only 20 are turned on right now. So there's a switch that turns them off and on, right? Synchrotron radiation can penetrate all life forms. So if DNA works like an antenna for the light is the trigger to switch on or turn on all 64 codons. So everyone with me so far? Yeah? I know it's a lot to take in. This is normally a day workshop and I'm doing it in 40 minutes, okay? So depending on your vibration, fear or love will depend on how many of those sites are coded for. So if you're a fear-based person, you can see here's our strand of DNA. Where the stars hit, there's a few places where it actually hits, okay? But a love-based DNA frequency hits a lot more points on the DNA, doesn't it? So the more points that are getting hit by the synchrotron radiation, the more codon sites happen. If you max out, you get 64 of them turned on. And that's just a comparison to show you the difference between love and fear. So it means in the biological terms, it means you can code for more proteins. That's really what it means, right? So coding for more proteins, more DNA strands, that's what it does. That's just basic biology. So if the person's vibrating in love, they'll be able to activate 12 strands of DNA. So the full set of 12-strand DNA is a digital key. That's what it is. And what it is, it's designed to unlock or boot up, as I like to say, that 97% of previous junk DNA that they call junk DNA, that's actually what I call divine DNA. That's been deliberately buried into your system. I'll do questions at the end, sorry. There's divine DNA, which is basically built into the system, right? But it's been hidden until we get to a point of evolution that we can cope with it or deal with it. And because we're now heading back to the fifth dimension reality, to get into the fifth dimensional reality, you need 12-strand DNA, right? So this is the whole point of all this. And so, yeah, just as I was saying, by booting up your 12-strand DNA, activates ascension. Which, I was talking about evolution before. Remember how I was saying that the past animals evolved into different creatures or different people? We're evolving into what I call as human version 2, right? We're going to become the upgraded version. So it's cosmic evolution. So basically, just to go through the conclusion. So the blue star is what triggers the amino acids. Your emotional vibration determines how many of those codes are going to get turned on. And the more amino acids you got turned on, the more strands of DNA you're going to produce. And if you produce all 12 strands of DNA, you'll automatically trigger ascension. No matter what, you just will. And this is going to be a mass event, not just one or two people. So the 12-strand DNA is required to activate your DNA and to ascend, basically. So that's the whole key to this, is living your life in a love vibration constantly. That's how you can get through this. That's how you do it. If you can maintain, you don't have to be, a guru. You don't have to be, meditating for 12 hours a day. What you have to do is live your life in a love vibration. Remember what I said before about the love vibration, what it incorporates. So it's how you interact in your life. It's how you conduct yourself in life, how you interact with other people. The relationships you have with people are the whole reason why you incarnated on this planet, right? To have relationships with other people, to work through issues. So it's how you respond to the challenges that are thrown at you determines how spiritually evolved you are. Right? So if you're someone that's reactionary, that's in the fear-based. If you're someone that has compassion and love, that's in the love vibration. Everyone get that? Right? So this is what I'm talking about. So I don't want to get bogged down with this, but the powers that be know about this stuff. So they want to close it down. They want to shut it down. They think they can. So, they brought in these body scanners and 5G, which are basically designed to unzip your DNA. So let's face it, if you've got unzipped DNA, you can't trigger 12-strand DNA. You just can't. Sorry. Can you repair it? I don't know. So it's anything that's terahertz wavelength, okay? So just before I finish, I want to go through the last prophecy of Peter Durnov. A lot of you probably never heard of this guy. But when I came across this, I've been talking about ascension and things for a long time, and suddenly someone pointed me to this guy's prophecies, and I was blown away. He did this in like 1944, 1945 or something, and he's talking, literally using words ascension, and I'll let you see for yourself. Yes, about a month before he died, he gave this last prophecy. So we'll find ourselves today at the frontier between two epochs, that of Kali Yuga and that of the new era that we are entering. The new era is that of all six races. The sixth race will be that of love. A new continent will be formed for it. It will emerge from the Pacific. Everybody will be subjugated to divine fire that will purify and prepare them in regards to the new era. I think he's describing that synchrotron radiation and then the fire that comes after it. You won't be around for the fire that comes after it, by the way, because that's why the light wave comes first. You go, everything else left gets purified by fire. Thus, man will raise himself to a superior degree of consciousness, indispensable to his entrance to the new life. That is what one understands by ascension. Some decades will pass before this fire will come. that will transform the world into bringing of a new morale. Some decades will pass. So he wrote this in 1944. I think some decades have passed. This immense wave comes from cosmic space that will inundate the entire Earth. All those that attempt to oppose it will be carried off and transferred elsewhere. That's all those living in the fear-based mentality. Although the inhabitants of this planet do not find themselves at the same degree of evolution, the new wave will be felt by each and every one of us. And the reason why I talk about that, I've done talks, I've written books about soul ages. That's what he's talking about there with evolution. It's only mature and old souls that will make it through this process. And this transformation will not only touch the Earth, but the ensemble of the entire cosmos. Well, of course, because it's coming from the centre of the galaxy. The fire of which I speak that accompanies the new conditions offered to our planet will rejuvenate, purify, reconstruct everything. The matter will be refined. Your hearts will be liberated from anguish, troubles and intuitude. But the matter will be refined, meaning we're going to a fifth dimension, right? A new Earth. We're going to be on the new Earth. And this is what he's talking about. And they will become luminous. Everyone will be improved, elevated. The thoughts, sentiments, and negative acts will be consumed and destroyed. Your present life is slavery, a heavy prison. Understand your situation and liberate yourself from it. Everything that is around you will soon collapse and disappear. Nothing will be left of this civilization, nor its perversity. We're already seeing that. The entire Earth will be shaken and no trace will be left of this erroneous culture that maintains men under the yoke of ignorance. The Earth is now following an ascending movement and everyone should force themselves to harmonise with the currents of the ascension. Those who refuse will remain behind in evolution and must wait tens of millions of years for the coming of a new ascending wave. The Earth will soon be swept by extraordinary rapid waves of cosmic electricity. If you're in 1944, you have no concept of the galaxy and how it works, or what synchrotron radiation is, you would explain it as electricity. There's not a place on Earth that is not dirtied with the human or animal blood. She must therefore submit to purification. And it's for that reason that continents will be immersed while others will surface. It is the end of an epoch. A new order will substitute the old, an order in which love will reign on Earth. So just finally, Merkaba. I'm just sort of throwing this in there. As I said, I've written a book on how to ascend individually, personally. And one of the things I talk about there, you have to activate a Merkaba. That's 3 words, the Egyptian words. It basically means the light body is what it is, a Merkaba. And that's what it looks like, okay? 2 pyramids that are interlocked and they spin in different directions, right? And so the one thing I get asked all the time is, oh, well, you know, why isn't everyone doing it? Or where's your proof that this process is possible? Well, I'll let you in a little story. After I published that book 2 years ago, probably about 3 months after it was on Amazon, I get an email from a young lady in Portugal, and she was 24 years old, to say to me that she took a video of her sister who followed my book. They even used Google Translate, you know, because they didn't understand it all. And they followed it religiously to the book. And she said, my sister has activated her Merkaba. This is her 2nd time. And after this, she's going to go, because that's what happens, right? You activate the Merkaba. And once you're happy with that, you then go to ascend to the 5th dimension. So she said, I'm sending you this video. And then hopefully I'm going to also go in the next 2 weeks. So I just thought I'd share this video with you. This is the original video that she sent me. In case you don't know, that's what a Merkaba looks like. It's like a light in the sky. It's a light ship. I put that in there. Remember that picture I showed you what a macabre looks like? So anyway, I still get chills when I watch that. So this stuff is real. That's the reason why I showed you that. It's not some hocus pocus. It's not some sort of, wishful thinking. It's time to get serious. You can all see it yourself that the Earth is now changed so dramatically just in the last 5 years, let alone 10 years, right? And we can all feel the shift. We can all feel something's coming. I don't know when this is going to happen, but it's going to happen. That much I do know. So I live my life personally every day now in that love vibration. So that basically concludes my talk. Thank you very much for listening. And if you've got any questions, now's the time.
Yeah, that was the presentation. I'm gonna share the link for anybody. I will put it in the description too. If anybody want it, I will put the presentation in the chat. Yeah, that one I just did. So yeah, basically with that, it showed that what is coming is the blue star. What they were referring to is coming from the center of the galaxy. There's where it would come. So could be that the 3A Atlas, now that it passed by, is glowing more blue, what I understand. So could that be the signal that the other one is coming, the real one? We'll see. Some people predict that this one is going to be activating our dormant DNA. So yeah, we'll see. We just have to be grounded, work on ourselves, stay in high vibration, and everything is going to be well. No fear. Because I saw people pushing fear with it, and they want us to fall in that trap with fear. Let me see. Oh yeah, Paul, you back? What's your thought on it?
My thoughts are many years ago, my husband was
I thought you did. Maybe you pass out.
You can't hear me?
Here's one thing of Dolores Cannon. Here's a quote of her. One of the main things that will stop people ascending and going into the new earth is fear. If you keep the population in fear, you can control it. Oh, she dropped off. So fear is a big control thing. So, and if you're living in fear, and let's say the wave come in, it's not going to be activating your full DNA capability, as it showed in that presentation of our DNA codes. 20 is activated out of 44. If all is activated, it will be 64. So 44, master number, is deactivated. And this, I mentioned this in the past, there was a UCLA research they have done there on children that they had more codes activated. They had 22 and 24 and 26 activated, more than normal humans. And these children, they run tests on them. They injected these children with bacteria, virus, AIDS. They injected a lot of disease in them. but these children weren't affected. They were good. And a quote of that school was, "We are on verge of calling this immortality." So it just led you to think, if they had not even half of it activated and they were immune to all sort of disease, what is the capability then when we have all 44 activated? You know? So could it be that the 3A Atlas is going to be um, activating the dormant DNA? We will see. Oh, let me see. Oh, it doesn't make sound with somebody is in the back. All right.
I don't know what happened. I guess StreamYard decided to
Hello?
mute me and keep me muted. Can you hear me now? I went out and came back
Can you hear
in.
me?
I can hear you.
I don't hear you. And you're not muted. Your sound is not coming through.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe you have to refresh the system. But yeah, I got different information also that it is benevolent. Some I heard is the Pleiadians, the Lyrians, even heard is the Elohim, you know? Oh, you hear us both? Why wasn't I capable of hearing her? Then, that is strange. Let me see. Hello, can you
Okay.
say something?
Can you hear me now? It's my
Oh.
third try trying to come back in here.
Oh, okay, now I hear you.
You can hear me
Okay.
now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
From the Merkaba point of view, my husband was showing me years ago, what they call UFO videos, unidentified orbs flying around, floating around outside of our Earth. And I saw it, and I immediately thought those are the ones that what I call have Merkaba'd up, and they are leaving Earth. And here is one little clip of a video of many of them. They are the video shot is so far away they just look circular, but I bet if we could zoom in on them, we could see that double triangle. And I was thinking you might want to show this to people so that if they ever see anything like this, they can decide for themselves if it's
you have it
what
with
I've
you?
said. Yeah, it's here in private chat, and I put it in live chat too on YouTube in your live chat.
Okay, let me see here.
Can you
Reddit.
see? Yeah, private chat. It's short.
Okay. And what do you think this is?
I think these are people who have activated their Merkabas and are leaving Earth.
Yeah,
I think
apparently.
I've identified them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a possibility because apparently there's few people already doing that. And yeah, the Danny Searle, that's the one that gave the presentation. He has a book out, and it apparently is a guiding to activating your Merkaba. So, but yeah, I'm not gonna check his book. I'm just gonna stay here till the end. You know, it's gonna come good. Okay, let me see. Ooh. Oh yeah, it's a Reddit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is. Okay.
Might want to make it big.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make it bigger. Let me see. Oh, Barry, you got a new telescope? Well, that's gonna come in usage. Oh yeah, the volume. Oh yeah. All right. Let's check this out.
Moving up, right? Just keep watching. And now when I'm not filming, what will happen is these things will like pause themselves or It's really crazy. See, here's another one on the top right, coming down, right? And then we have another one all the way on the right, going straight across. Tell me that's not weird, right? What is that? This is not satellites. Like I said, I took the app for tracking flights.
Now, the audio is not great, but it was the only video I could find with several orbs in it.
20 of these at night.
Okay, yeah, no, I have it on full. So I cannot go.
I've been doing all this studying about these plasma entities, and
But they are everywhere.
they have the ability to just like call.
And if we had the technology to be able to zoom in on each individual orb, we would be able to see the double triangle linked.
There's a connection there that I've been trying to like figure out.
So they want to call these UFOs, but I call them Merkabas.
They're curious about.
Well, I think it's a mixture of things. It could be UFO, could be extraterrestrial or interdimensional drones, and then you have the craft that are from this Earth self, reverse engineered. So there's and then you have the other ones from other planet. So there's difference right now in the sky. Yeah.
Crazy, but I do think that they are connected via your thoughts. That's how.
But the negative ones, that I don't know. I don't think the negative ones are much active right now as they were 20, 30 years ago.
We know the
Oh, that's good.
Right? We know that every single spot in the universe is connected through this extra dimension. That's how the MH370 videos.
But yeah, you don't have to play the whole thing. I just wanted them to see, like, this is happening in our atmosphere.
Oh yeah, no, I just thought maybe it's going to be a close-up, but no, it does show it from far.
Yeah, no, they're not going to zoom in on anything, I don't think.
Oh no. Okay. Let me see.
But we've got several of these somewhere. I downloaded them years ago, but I don't know where my husband squirreled them away at. But there were other ones, things out there that were like circular and flat, and it looked like they were stopping the people who had activated their Merkabas from leaving, like the Gnostics teach. The Archons were like trying to stop them from leaving, but a lot of them just shot past them anyway, and shot out of sight of the camera view.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some of them were being held back until they could figure out how to dodge them and get through anyway. That's why I figured they were Merkabas, people who had activated their Merkabas, because why else would you want to stop them?
Well, yeah, that's with the Wi-Fi and a lot of frequency interference that is happening. That is all, and with the jab that is also bringing it home. But there's a lot of cures coming out. I have few written down, and for autism, there's cures for it. Is basically detoxing. Basically, cure of everything. Detoxing is key in a lot of things.
Yes.
But in autism, there's two key things that you can use for a child, and it has been proven to reverse it. So I can see in the future we're gonna have a solution for every disease out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what I'm showing right now is apparently this is a fake video, but like the one that posted is saying that it's true. It's apparently supposed to be a leak footage from the telescope in Japan, but I don't think this is 3A Atlas.
No. That's their misinformation stuff that they like to throw out there.
Yes. So this is for people to know. Let me see. There's another one. Oh yeah, this one also. Let me share this one. This is another one. This is not it either. But there's a lot of misinformation going around and a lot of fear. Let me see another one here. Oh yeah, no, I close it. Yeah, maybe I did close it. Oh yeah, here it is. This one. Okay, let me share this one. Okay, this is the one saying that it's gonna come for the star seeds. Uh, mm, yeah, these images are. That's the also tricky thing with now is the AI. A lot of
Yes,
it could be AI. It seems to
exactly.
be AI, and okay, I'm just gonna show. This is one person which I think is not genuine. Um, and they are pushing for, yeah, this is a Draco ship. We can list a bit of it. And apparently he's a remote viewer. Oh, I ain't gonna play with it. You listen for yourself. But I think this person is spreading misinformation and fear. So check it out.
Let's go back to 3i Atlas itself. It's a gigantic comet, the size roughly of New York City or bigger. What are we talking about here? Like, how many people or how many Draco can a craft that size house?
So I remote viewed the craft and I got direct information from that.
Okay.
And my take on that, I did just remote view the amount of people on board. I also remote viewed the technology was inside, the whole decks, the pods, the whole thing on the inside. So I can see they are using antimatter and fusion technology. And they also have pods housing less than 5 million direct reptilian soldiers inside. And so they're all dormant. They're not using space. They're not eating. They're not doing anything. They're just basically just waiting to be awakened. And they're all in pods.
You use the word soldier.
Yes.
That is a little unnerving.
Yeah, I mean, the Draco race is known to be fighting wars in other galaxies, and obviously they destroyed the Pleiadians' home planet. So that's in their genes. That's what they do. And at the same time, it's for their own safety that they are trying to protect themselves. They don't know what's coming. They don't know who they're going to be facing. So that's why they keep those soldiers in that situation. They're not active. So when they travel through space, they just keep them in that state.
Oh, so it doesn't mean they're necessarily coming here with soldiers to attack.
That's correct. That doesn't mean that they're coming in to wake them up all and, to invade Earth. That's not the plan. I'm just saying that they are there, just in case, because it is a mothership. Yeah.
Let's go back to 3i Atlas itself. It's a gigantic comet, the size roughly of New York City or bigger.
So yeah, he's saying there's a Draco ship coming and that he review it, remote view it, but I don't believe he got the accurate information. And so basically the information I presented is it doesn't show as a normal comet. Could be it is a sign of the blue Kachina, which would be coming from the center of the galaxy, not like a comet or a ship. What could be that this ship also could be triggering the DNA. We will have to wait and see. And only way is to, if it does happen, that you be in the high vibration,
Yeah. The love vibration. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, here's a good example. I was laying down on my couch, getting ready to take a nap, and my kitty cat, Sissy Girl, came to have some taste of some chicken I cooked last night, and she doesn't very rarely eat human food. She just eats cat food. So when she does eat the food that I cooked, I feel so proud that she's, enjoying what I cooked finally, that I feel this happy little feeling in my stomach. And it occurred to me then, just this morning, that if we were to allow that feeling to take place and allow it to continue without falling asleep or cutting it off, that is the frequency that we need to be at. Because it felt so good, I felt so happy, and that is the love vibration. And you can feel it in your belly. you'll know.
Yeah. Gratitude is key. Be grateful, you know. Gratitude. It opens doors for a lot of things. Gratitude is important. Yeah, next Wednesday I'm going to be streaming back again. I'm going to be doing meditation on the full moon on the 5th of November. That is going to be yeah, interesting day as fall on 5th of November. Has to do with Guy Fawkes. Remember 5th of November. So that's going to be an interesting day. And what else? Oh yeah, waiting on Max to do a show on the weather modification that is happening also. And oh yeah, next Saturday, not this oncoming, but the 15th, I think is fall on. I'm gonna do my first interview with a white hat. I have contacted a white hat. And yes, he's working for the White Hat Alliance, and he has a lot of knowledge. He has been out there, so that is going to be a very interesting interview.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Super
I have that.
excited.
Yeah, the second Saturday. So yeah, I'm gonna do that live. So that is gonna be very interesting. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. No fear, you know. I'm gonna be pushing a lot of fear. Stay grounded, stay in the gratitude, you know, because all is divine. We asked to be here for this change, you know. So we asked to be here to experience the transformation. It's gonna be something unique, you know. So yeah, it's gonna come good. It's gonna come good. Well, yeah. Anything else you want to say, Paula?
No, I think you said it all. I've clicked all notifications for your channel, so I will not miss any of your videos unless I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I will try to do the other one a bit earlier. And yeah, so I have already the page made for the interview with the white hat. And I'm gonna make it public in a bit. So yeah, and yeah, the next one I'm gonna be doing is the meditation on Wednesday, 5th of November. So it's gonna come good. Well, yeah, thanks, Paula,
Yes,
and
thank you.
everybody in the chat. And I will see y'all next time.
Much love.
Stay high. Yeah, much love. Stay high vibe, and all is gonna be well. Yes.